Let's see. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Oh, welcome early. Welcome to the early show. Okay. Hey, welcome. Oh, snap. Snappity snap. Okay. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing tonight? Hello. Welcome to you. Thank you for being here early, as always. All right. Copy. Okay. Do I want to do that right now? I don't know. What was that? Oh. Nope. Nope. No, we're not doing that right now, are we? We're not doing that yet. I am dealing with a lack of music tonight because I'm trying to avoid copyright infringement from YouTube. So until I get that figured out, bear with me, please. We've got 3 minutes till showtime. Thank you for being here early very much. I appreciate it. Just got back in town from Houston, and boy, are my arms tired. Hi, sweetheart. My cats missed me terribly. It's a true story. And I am now dealing with that. Because they don't want me to... They don't like when I don't pay attention to them. Especially after I've been gone for a while. Okay. Let's see if we can get the microphone check. Let's try that mic check, shall we? Was in Houston this weekend for a dancing event. Because believe it or not, I dance. It's hard to imagine. But I do. And I did, and we did very well. It was a lot of fun, and we just got back a few hours ago, so I am trying to make this look as seamless as possible. There's a possibility I will be having my special guest in the chat room this evening. So if you see him, treat him nicely. And there we go. Mic check. Checked 1, 2. Mic. Check. Mic check. Mic check. Checked 1, 2. Mic. Check. Very good. Mic check. All right. I like it. It'll work. It'll be good. It'll be great. All right. Hello. Oh, I need to grab some files. Hey, before I forget, I'd like to thank all of my Rubber Hose subscribers for subscribing on Patreon. Before I get started tonight, I'd like to thank Diana and Ronita Davis. Not that they have the same last name. I just thanked Diana, first name only, and then Ronita Davis. So thank you, both of you. And thanks to all YouTube and Patreon subscribers, because your support truly does mean a lot to me. Yes. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube, or you can go to patreon.com// Philmaki for more information about what a Rubber Hose subscriber is and what the other subscribers are. And with that, it is 8:59. Nope, it is 9 o'clock. So, we're going to get started. Tonight is very exciting. Very excited to have a special guest here tonight. All right, we're going to give it 60 more seconds if you guys don't mind. I would like to make sure that I'm not missing anything. I think I'm going to be good here. As long as we don't get any notifications on my computer. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, 9 o'clock. Off we go. Away we go.
Very funny. We now give you our brand new little sweetheart of swing.
Welcome to Stay Tuned, the show for animation lovers, recorded live on YouTube and proudly streaming on Patreon. Coming to you from Austin, Texas, I'm your host, Phil Maki. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Tonight, Stay Tuned welcomes special guest Carey Means to the show. All that, and you'll have a chance to share your thoughts, questions, and opinions with me for a live Q&A after the show. My special guest tonight is a voice actor best known for his role as Frylock on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. The series followed a giant talking milkshake, ball of meat, and a box of French fries that lived together in suburbia and occasionally attempted to solve mysteries. Most of the time, episodes dealt with disturbingly hilarious monsters, ridiculous arguments, and the inevitable torture of their neighbor, Carl. The popular show aired on Cartoon Network starting in 2000 under their Adult Swim label in various forms over the course of 15 years, and even led the way to a movie and video game. Carey Means is here to tell us all about what being number one in the hood is like in just a few moments. But first, this. And here's where I would be playing some music, kiddies, but I'm not going to be doing that because, you know, music and copyright and all that. So bear with me as I rotate and switch things around to make this work with the show. Carey Means, welcome to Stay Tuned.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad to have you here.
Phil Mackey, is it Mackey or Mackey?
It's actually Maki.
Maki.
Yeah, it's
like macchiato.
Yeah, it's Italian, you know.
Ah, Italiano.
That's right.
Hey, Maki. Mangiano.
That's right. Or
mangi. Mangi means eat, right? Mangi.
Means eat. It's a word that I am all too familiar with.
All right.
My entire childhood, that's basically what I was being told was to eat. So, you know.
And you listen.
You know, I did okay. I'm not too big. So I have, before we get, you know, too much, I just wanted to start off by saying, you know, welcome, of course. And then also, I understand that you're a fan of the classics what was it about Mel Blanc's work on the Looney Tunes that left such an impression on you?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's my pet rabbit. His name is Bugs. He loves carrots. You know?
So Bugs Bunny left an impression on you.
Oh, yeah.
Right on.
Well, Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
Mel Blanc, the one who voiced all those voices, man. I mean, come on. Growing up in St. Louis, my hometown, I would watch those cartoons, man. Weaned on them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bunny, Elmer, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig. But what a lot of people don't realize is that Mel Blanc knocked on the Warner Brothers doors for about 3 years before he even get his foot in the door. They kept slamming the door and said, "You need any voice talent? No, slam. You need any voice talent? No, slam." Finally, the guy who kept slamming the door in his face passed away. The guy who took his place said, "Come on in, kid, let's see what you got." So, and the first voice he did was not Bugs. It was like a drunken toreador or bullfighter or something like that, or a drunken bull, one of the two, in a whole black and white short.
Isn't that a great story how he just persisted and he stuck with it and then he became...
Yeah, he just didn't give up, man. He just kept banging them. You know, I don't imagine how that would have turned out for me if I banged on the Cartoon Network's doors for 3 years. It probably would have had me arrested after the 4th time I visited the place. You know, luckily I had a good enough agent that had an in with those folks.
Yeah.
Got me the gig. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
My very first voiceover was in 1997, and I had no transportation, no way to get there, so I was like 2.5 hours late to the session.
Oh, wow.
And I was on the other side of town, and I had to get the cab from Sandy Springs to Midtown Atlanta. It cost me a pretty penny, but I guess he was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, it's okay." I was like, "No, these fools ain't gonna hire me no more, man. I'm not gonna get no more work in this town." And it was for Blockbuster Video.
Oh,
Why is Crosby so cool? Because he shops at Blockbuster Video. Why is Rudolph's nose so red? Because he shops at Blockbuster Video. So I thought that I wasn't gonna get no more work ever in this town, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they called me back, you know, to do more. I was like, wow, this is not that I want to make a practice of being late.
Right.
But it was like, okay. So anyway, my agent had an in with Cartoon Network, and I started doing bumps for Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
I think I was
nice.
the person that told the world about Goku's death in Dragon Ball Z the first time he died.
That's awesome.
I was the announcer for Samurai Jack, the first incarnation.
That's awesome. How did you...
Samurai Jack insisted us so that and the other, and a young production assistant by the name of Larry Morris. I know the name so well because I went to high school with a guy with the same name, who was Italian also, by the way.
Hey, look at that.
Larry Morris, the guy I went to high school with, right? But he was like a dark-haired, big-nosed Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Nice, nice.
If you've ever seen that movie.
I do, yeah.
His character, Jeff Spicoli.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, Mr. Hahn. So he was like, he wasn't a surfer, but he had that mentality, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure.
He brings pet tarantula to show and tell. The school was like, "This is Juno. He's my pet tarantula. Juno, where'd you go? Anybody seen Juno?" But anyway, this guy heard me doing the Samurai Jack thing, and he ran to Matt Malero and Dave Willis, the co-creators of Aqua Team. He was like, "You gotta hear this Carey Means guy. He'd be perfect for the show that you're doing about these food products." So, my agent, once upon a time, kids, there was something called fax machines. And my agent faxed me a copy of the Rabbit script.
Yes.
And I was standing in the break room of my day job. Let me rewind a little bit. I did have a day job at the time.
Right.
I worked at a market research firm called Tooned Research. I can talk about it now because they're defunct, no longer functioning. But we were the people that would call your house while you're having dinner.
Oh,
and
boy.
ask you about your cable repairman and ask you if in the future do you think everybody have a cell phone? Do you think in 10 years? Somewhat likely, not at all likely, or very unlikely.
Oh, my gosh.
We had a cable survey that lasted about an hour, man. Then people would hang up on me quite frequently, believe it.
Yeah, no
But
kidding.
it was a cool little gig, though. And it was, now looking back on it, we laid the groundwork for a lot of this technology stuff that's going on now. Like live TV, you can pause, rewind, and fast forward live TV. That was in the cable survey, those questions.
Oh, interesting.
How likely would it be that you think that you would be able to pause, rewind, and fast forward live television in the future? In the future.
In the far distant
$10 an hour gig. $10 an hour gig, you know. And I'm standing in the break room with the Rabbi script. No, Meatwad, don't get a jam box. Then all of a sudden you hear Dave Willis and Matt Malero on the conference call in the background. They're just cracking up, guffawing, laughing uncontrollably. I was like, what is this crap? I was like, I'm not going to get this gig. I was like, I'm not going to get this. Forget about it, you know?
Yeah.
Sure enough, it came down to me and one other guy.
Oh, okay.
And the other guy he didn't have enough life to him. He was boring too dull. So I got to get it.
Awesome. Well, I mean, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yes, sir.
So,
a decade and a half later,
that's right.
you're number one in the hood, G.
That's right. You've got a background in theater.
Yes.
Do you feel like that helped prepare you for voice acting?
Absolutely, man. Well, one thing people ask me is, where do they start? And I tell them, start with theater, start with improv, take some acting classes.
Absolutely.
Do some community theater or college productions, whatever level you're at, do that.
Yeah.
Get into improvisation. Go to improv classes. It's fun, you know?
It is. I
Get
agree.
out of your shell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out of your shell. Read aloud a lot. Read aloud a lot. Read a tube of toothpaste. Read a magazine out loud. Not necessarily on the bus or train or anything, but I'm just saying, practice.
That's very true.
You know, that's one of the things that I was grateful for with that market research job, because I read a script every day. You know what I'm saying? I went in there, put a little headset on, and dialed the phone on the dumb terminals and read from a script.
It prepared you.
That helped tremendously.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that, because for 4 years I worked in technical support over the phone. So I remember thinking to myself, you know, this is probably going to prepare me in some way that I'm not ready or I'm not aware of yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I sang with the Atlanta Opera Chorus.
Oh, wow.
And the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra Chorus, respectively.
Oh, wow.
And I've done tons of musical theater. I've been on the Fox Theater stage here in Atlanta with Robert Goulet, the likes of Robert Goulet and South Pacific. Robert Goulet and Paige O'Hara. Paige O'Hara was the original voice from Belle.
That's right.
In the Disney animated version of Beauty and the Beast.
That's correct. Yeah.
She was quite taken with my dulcet tones and said, Carey, I love your voice. You got a great voice. Send me a demo to New York to this dress. This is the 90s we're talking here, man.
Yeah.
So it's like there was no MP3 technology, and there was no really, I didn't have a very good demo cassette tape. Let's put it to you that way at the time.
Right.
It sucked. And I sent it to her, never heard nothing back. I felt so dejected. But it was horrible. It was a horrible demo cassette tape with a few voices on it that I thought was going to get me some work, but never did.
Of course, you just mentioned, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and for those people out there who are somehow unaware of that show, you played a large, highly intelligent talking box of French fries. And what was your first impression when you were reading about these characters? Was it confusing? Or?
Well, I had a handle on the type of character that he was, not necessarily what he sounded like, but his personality when my agent described him to me. He said, well, the name says it all pretty much. Frylock, a.k.a. Sherlock. He's the straight man. He's the guy who wants to solve the crime. He wants to do good. He wants to solve the mystery. And it's just my voice, man. There's a subtle difference between the way I talk and the way Frylock talks, for example. There's a little bit of a difference.
It's all about the inflection.
It's still me, and I'm still him, and he's still me.
Yeah, and so
And of course, I was Thundercleese on the Brack Show.
Yes, Thundercleese. I remember that
very well. Down the street, I blast you. The majority of the Aqua Teen cast started doing that show on Nickelodeon called Welcome to the Wayne. Did you hear about that one?
I have heard about that. What can you tell me about that show?
My character's name is Jonah Bishop. He sounds an awfully lot like Frylock.
Okay.
Dana Snyder's character is a pre-adolescent kid who runs around in slippers in a bathrobe and levitates spoons to vampires. His name is Wendell Waffleman.
Oh my gosh.
And he looks exactly like a little Dana Snyder. Dana Snyder was a little kid. With the glasses and everything.
Yeah.
and a little black afro.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny, man.
I'll check it out.
It was nominated for an Emmy. Welcome to the Wayne is the name of the show. Dave Willis is in it. He does several voices, but mostly he's known as the doorman George, who sounds a lot like Paul. Hey, welcome to the Wayne.
I will have to check it out. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, it might be on Nicktoons now or somewhere floating around in the void, because if you look up the IMDb page on it, it'll say the year it started, which I believe was 2017, July of 2017, last year. That's when it started airing on Nickelodeon. It got nominated for an Emmy, and I haven't done anything with them since February.
Oh,
so
weird.
I don't know what's going on. From what I heard to the grapevine is it got a 3-season run, and that's it. And I was like, wow. I was hoping to get some SpongeBob time out of it. I thought it was that good of a show. Really did.
Wow.
It was funny, and we were all in it.
I wonder what happened.
We were all in it. I was trying to get the creator's name of it is Billy Lopez. He grew up with his brother Bobby Lopez and a whole bunch of other family members watching Aqua Teen.
Oh my gosh.
Bobby Lopez is an award-winning musician, a songwriter who's done stuff for Frozen, Avenue Q. Probably, any other Disney movie that's came out recently. He's like a musical coordinator for Disney.
That's
and
awesome.
amongst other things. So that's his brother Bobby. Billy had this idea for a web show, and he was such a big fan of Aquatine. He's like, this is what he told me. He said to himself, one day I'm going to have a show, and I'm going to have all the Aquatines in it, and I'll be damned if he didn't do it. With the exception of the late, great Clay Croker, by the way, who was
Yes.
the one to Dr. Weird and Steve and Zorak and Moltar, and the list goes on. I miss Clay. We were good friends. He was a hell of an artist, man.
Yeah, he was.
You know, and he died mysteriously. I don't know the exact cause of his death, but I got a theory, but I won't even go into that. But he's been gone a couple of years now, but I still miss him. He was a cool guy, and we got along great, and I hate to say this, but Adult Swim didn't really treat him all that well. That's all I have to say about that. Forrest Gump. That's all I have to say about that.
That's right.
You know, I don't want to badmouth anybody. I love those folks over there. I love to do some more stuff with them.
Yeah.
And I miss doing Frylock, and maybe one day they'll bring them back, or bring the Aquatines back, or whatever. But yeah, just talking about Clay, man, he, I think he had agoraphobia where he didn't want to leave his house, because I've invited him like to barbecues and stuff like that at my place. And, like one Memorial Day, I invited him out to a barbecue at my house, and he just kept coming with these excuses. I got a friend who's in town celebrating her birthday, and I was like, bring her over. He didn't know what to say. What's better on your birthday than free barbecue?
Right.
And then I found out from a mutual friend, this guy I've known him for like 30 some odd years. I think his name is Stephen Pope. He's an artist as well. Shout out to Steve. Steve, how you doing? And he said, I've known Clay for 30 years, man. He's a agoraphobe. He doesn't like to leave his house. But if you come over to his house, he holds court. You know, the king is in his court. You know, it's hard for you to leave.
Sure.
He wouldn't want you to leave. You come over there, hang out with him, and he just holds court in his house. And I was like, that kind of makes sense. Aside from going to the occasional con like Dragon Con or Myrtle Beach, the one he and Bob Camp used to go to, I know him as well. As a matter of fact, if you look on YouTube, you can find a video clip of myself, Clay, and Bob Camp, the co-creator of Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, yeah.
Singing the theme song from the Super Chicken TV show from the 60s.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to look that up.
Bob knows all the lyrics. By the time we got to the second verse, me and Clay were just going blah, 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 blah. Super Chicken. You know.
That's awesome.
And it was filmed. And it was filmed by Frank Frazzetta's, one of Frank Frazzetta's granddaughters.
Oh, wow.
iPhone.
Oh, that's so cool. Man,
that was the VIP area at Dragon Con back in 2015.
That is VIP sounding right there.
That was when I met Bob Camp. That's a good friend of mine as well. He's a cool dude.
He's a very cool dude. I had him, he signed my Ren and Stimpy hoodie a few years ago when I met him up in Michigan. So I'm just curious, how much riffing or like ad lib did they allow when you were working on Aquatine?
40% was about ad-libbing, man.
40%. Wow.
You can tell. I'm sure you can tell.
I mean, a little bit.
Stuff was not scripted.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, it's interesting because you were on that show for over 130 episodes. I mean, that's...
Oh, over 200.
200, I'm sorry, yes. So...
Yeah, that's 200 plus episodes.
And then a movie.
The movie and the video game.
Yeah, the video game, exactly.
Oh, yeah. I got a T-shirt that says, number one in the hood for a decade and a half. And on the back it has all the shows didn't last as long as Aquatine did.
Yeah.
And, you know, the list is long. It's like Mask, Cheers, Cosby Show, After Mash, all these shows that were all not as long as Aquatine was for 15 and a half years.
Yeah, you guys had quite the run.
Decade and a half.
Yeah.
15 years, yeah, 15 years.
So was recording the movie any different than making an episode? Was it a different experience?
It was just like a long episode to me.
Yeah, okay.
It was just like a long episode.
Yeah.
The most intense part was obviously when Frylock was reminiscing on how they were created. That was my Emmy Award. That was my Academy Award submission there.
Well, you know, it was weird. I actually saw that movie in the theater. First of all, the introduction was hilarious. But the other thing I was going to say was the part you're talking about where Frylock was, you know, recounting how they came to be. There's all these different versions. It's such a confusing, strange thing to watch. Was that because they couldn't pick, you know, a version, or they didn't want to really give an origin? What do you think the reason for that was?
Wow, you got all analytical on me there, didn't you?
You know.
Well, how many times did you see this movie?
Just a couple times.
Now I gotta watch it again to catch all that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stump you.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again myself to catch all that with all those nuances you just threw at me.
Well, the big
boy.
You know, I do my research, man. I do my homework.
I love it when they take Frylock out of his comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? They show another side of him.
Yes, he drops.
Like when Meatwad wants to cross the street and he's looking at him through the window with the ball gag in his mouth and the S&M mask on his face, tell me, man.
Yes.
What I didn't like was when they would emasculate him, make him a female trapped inside a male's body, give him cancer, all his fries fall out. And then at the end of that episode, you got Andrew W.K. singing the party song, and they would fry like a spine all of a sudden.
Yeah, I definitely
I
remember
didn't
that.
understand a lot of stuff they did. I just showed up and read the script, man. You know what I'm saying?
See, I was going to ask you that.
Get a little direction from Matt and Dave.
Yeah.
Well, do it like this. This is what you mean when you say this. You know what I'm saying?
But it's
and then
really...
Dave would go in and do Carl and Meat Wad and Nick Knot or whatever.
Yeah.
Dana is like doing his from like L.A.
Oh.
And Dave Willis is usually there directing me on the other side of the glass. So we're rarely in the same room unless we're doing a commentary. If you ever listen to any of those behind the scenes commentaries.
I do.
The first one was pretty boring, but the second one we kind of a little lively there.
Yeah.
Because they had booze at the second one.
So
they got us liquored up.
What? Oh, okay. You mentioned earlier that the show started off as like they were trying to solve crimes, but it devolved into some weird, surreal...
I thought they were trying to solve crime. It did devolve. If you said it right. I think it's... And they started reincarnating Aqua Unit Patrol Squad, Aqua Teen, Hunger, whatever.
Yeah, it got...
Aqua TV show.
Yeah, they keep
changing. The final incarnation was Aqua Teen Hunger Force Forever.
Right. They kept changing the title.
I don't know why they did that. I think they were trying to get sponsors or something.
Oh, okay.
They even made a show about Dana flying to LA about sponsorship and residuals. They was like, they told the truth. They said, well, the show was only 12 minutes long. So that's why Ted Turner got some hell of lawyers. They smart over there.
Yeah.
The show's only 12 minutes long. So if it's any longer, they'd have to get sponsors.
Oh, that's true.
Then we would talk about residuals, but we can't talk about residuals because I live in Georgia, right to work state.
Yes, that's right.
See, people think that I'm swimming in royalties from Aqua Teen. No.
Still got to work.
Somebody sent me a message on Facebook one day, and it was like, enjoy those royalties and residuals, my friend. I was like, what? Who? Who you talking to? I don't get that.
Now, wait.
Like, well, you lying. I was like, no, I'm not.
So if you...
I don't get no kickback.
You don't get anything from any DVD sales or anything like that?
No, sir.
Wow.
Now, Welcome to the Wayne. It's a SAG gig, even though I'm not in SAG. See, it's a sticky wicket. This whole SAG not being in SAG thing. Even though Welcome to the Wayne is a SAG gig,
yeah.
I'm not in SAG because I can't afford the $3,000 or whatever it is to plop down to get into SAG right now. I just can't.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was like only $1,000, but they still you got monthly. But I always get mail from SAG about my retirement and stuff. It's really strange.
Oh, interesting.
I'm like, so am I in SAG? No, you're not. But here's your retirement package right here.
Okay.
Okay.
That's so weird.
So
did you ever...
Everybody goes, you gotta move to LA. You gotta move to LA. I was like, where I'm staying? Your house?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I crash on your couch for a year?
That's right.
Till I make it big?
Yeah.
No, they get silent then. You know what I'm saying? I'm barely making it in Atlanta. I'm trying to hold on to stay in Atlanta because Atlanta is supposed to be booming.
Yeah.
With the movies and stuff, But the thing is, we don't realize they really don't cast for major roles in Atlanta. They cast in New York and LA. That's where they cast for the major roles,
So they film in Atlanta.
I'd be lucky if I can get some day player gig. I'm trying to at least start off with some day player stuff here. I did just sign up with the People Store here in Atlanta, so.
That's
awesome. They were sending me some auditions my way, so it's cool.
That's awesome.
I still have the same agent that got me Frylock, though. She lives in North Carolina.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
She's semi-retired, though, but she still, she sends me checks.
That's nice. It's nice that you still, it's nice that you still are in touch with her. That's great that you still have her as an agent.
Oh, I actually brought her in for Welcome to the Wayne. I got that on my own, but I called her up and said, hey, I need you to do the agent thing one more time. I got another show. She almost fell out of her seat. She couldn't believe it because a lot of people have left her high and dry like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't do that. If you get a gig on your own, you don't have to pay your agent nothing.
Right.
You just deal with the people who direct and don't worry about no 10%. But I didn't do her like that because she actually got me the gig as Frylock.
See, that's awesome. That's great.
So there's a certain amount of loyalty there. I wish I had $1 for every time somebody told me to get rid of her. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it.
That's karma, man.
Even though she's semi-retired and she don't work like she used to as far as getting me stuff. But every now and then, she'll send something my way, an audition or something.
See, there you go. She takes care of you. That's good. That's awesome.
That's why I had to sign up with the People Store here. She understands I have to have more than one person represent me.
Right.
You know, the person ain't really doing much. But like I said, I can't cut her loose. It's a loyalty thing. She's my friend and my agent, basically.
Absolutely.
You know, she is a wise egg, man. She reminds me of Eve on The Incredibles.
Oh, yes. Yes.
She's talking about that height, too. We're on the Burns Agency, so any of you kiddies out there looking for representation, tell them Carey Means to you. Matter of fact, if anybody's ever in the Atlanta area, check out Neighborhood Studios, neighborhoodstudios.com. It's Bob Carter, the voice of Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat 9.
Okay.
As well as Balrog from Street Fighter. Time to get paid. And amongst many other VOs. This guy has his own studio and he teaches people how to get into the business. So check out neighborhoodstudios.com or visit Neighborhood Studios in Norcross, Georgia, and tell them Frylock sent you.
There you
Put a
go.
little plug for Bob Carter there.
That's a nice little plug. Did you ever do any recording with George Lowe?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. What, Space Ghost himself?
Yeah.
Oh, Papa George, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw him at Dragon Con recently.
Oh, cool.
But, yeah, me and George, I was in the studio at Doppler, which is closed now, by the way. Doppler is a place where we recorded about 90% of our material before us. They closed for whatever reason about a year ago.
Oh.
But anyway, I was in there listening to George do his Homer Simpson impersonation of the very first episode of the very last season of Aqua Teen. It was kind of like a Robot Chicken thing with like claymation.
Yes.
Claymation form. And the guy from Rick and Morty was the guest voice.
That's right.
He was the beef jerky mascot.
Yeah.
We're going to have an adventure right now with robots and lasers. So, meanwhile, loses his mouth. And he tries on these different miles, and one of them is Homer Simpson. And I can hear George just nailing Homer Simpson impersonations over the phone, over the voice pad. Beef jerky, dope. So, he does a better Homer than I do.
No, that was good.
Obviously.
That was good.
Yeah. I like Homer,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could have got a run like the Simpsons out of Aqua Teen, boy. That'd be nice.
I mean, yeah.
Be on the air.
Talk about a long run for a show. You ain't kidding.
Like SpongeBob, too. I mean, Tom Kenny just takes money bags. He's just wiping his butt with $500 bills. Down the toilet.
So wait, are you saying that the royalties are better on a show that's on Nickelodeon than the one that's on Adult Swim, or is it something different?
I'm saying I'd like to trade paychecks with Tom Kenny any day of the week.
Okay. Is that because it was
I'm saying that. When I do cons, and I love to do them, you might see me at a con near you if you're listening to this. But anyway, when I do them, a lot of parents come up to my table and they go, I won't let my kids watch SpongeBob. It's too adult.
Wow. Yeah.
I've actually heard people tell me that. I was like, well, it does kind of have some undertones or overtones. I want to say it to it, but everything does, really. Well,
there's suggestion, and then there's hitting something directly on the nose. So those parents should watch Adult Swim.
No. I mean, I've had 9 and 10-year-olds come up to my table and say, hey, I watched that show.
Oh,
how old are you, son? I'm 10.
Oh, man.
This kid was dressed as Rick Sanchez at the New York Comic Con last year. I was lucky and blessed enough to squeeze in on the vendor's floor. Made a little money, too. And this kid comes up to the table dressed as Rick Sanchez, 10 years old. He does the old Macaulay Culkin, the Home Alone expression. Yeah, it's Frylock. He's like wet himself and just really so excited to be Frylock. I'm like, how old are you, son? I'm 10. Where's your mom? Right here? Naughty mommy, I wag my finger at mommy. It's like,
so how weird is that?
Is younger than, my show was older than this kid.
Yeah.
Well, how weird? He's like geeking out over beating Frylock, and I'm like, oh my god, I've been corrupting America's youth for a decade and a half. Yes, I have.
So was that weird, or were you proud of that, or how did that feel?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Weird, proud, just. People who come up to me and saying I've got them out of some of the toughest times in their lives, man.
That's awesome.
That makes me proud. Who knew a box of floating French fries with laser eyes would have such a profound effect?
That's very true. There's a staying power in animated shows, I think, or in TV in general, but I think there's a real staying power that people bond with it,
I concur. That's what made me want to do it.
Oh, okay.
That's what made me want to do it. Like I said. Growing up on the Looney Tunes, cartoons, and stuff like that, Jerry Lewis movies, Three Stooges, all that.
All the classics.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the classics.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Marx Brothers, Law and Hardy.
Well, in keeping with the box of French fries theme going, I sent you a little bit of writing from an ad, a 1950s magazine ad.
That you did.
For Crisco and making French fries. And if you don't mind, I would love to hear a little bit of Frylock reciting this old ad.
Crisp, like Crisco fried foods are so digestible, you can eat them 7 days a week. New medical tests prove it. Yes, new tests and nutrition experts prove that foods fried light and right in Crisco are as completely digestible as if baked or boiled. Look, crispy brown potatoes fried in Crisco, or taste the delicate flavor of Crisco fried chicken. Crisco fried foods taste so right, you'll know they'll sit right and be easy to digest. So fry away and fear no more. Use Crisco for fried foods. You can eat 7 days a week without a worry. Use Crisco. It's digestible.
That's great. That was great. What a strange ad, too.
My mom used Crisco, so I know.
Oh, there you go.
She used to buy it by the tub, baby.
If you have to tell somebody that your food is digestible, it almost is like, why are you
I
reminding?
read the last word like that.
Yeah.
It's digestible.
Yeah, I like that.
Not like that lard you're using.
Yeah.
That's not digestible.
Yeah.
Use this instead.
Yeah.
It's only half lard.
That's funny.
A third less of the lard.
That's
Yeah.
I kind of miss those old ads.
Remember, kids, if you see a big flash outside, there's a nuclear bomb. Stop, drop, and roll. Duck and cover. That's
Yes.
it. Duck and cover.
Yes.
Duck and cover.
You know what?
Under desks.
When I was looking up this ad today, I actually came across some old commercials for Lay's potato chips from like the 60s. The actor that played the Cowardly Lion was doing them. If you ever have a chance to look those up, they're so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really funny.
Wow.
Those old commercials where people did product placements like that, it's very different now, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Carey, thank you so much for hanging out with me today here and talking with all of us and of course doing a little bit of Frylock for everybody at home. I really appreciate that.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Maki.
Yeah.
Hey, you tell the Don I said, forget about it, okay? The thing that I did for him that time. No worries.
Hey, I'm walking
Right.
here. Hey, you'll be sleeping with the fishes in no time.
Hey, yeah, forget about it. Huh?
Hey, whatever, you know.
You talked to the fly man here.
Hey, what?
Yeah, now I'm going into a little Carl there, a little Carl.
A little bit of Carl.
I can do a little Peter.
There you go.
That's a friend of mine too, Rob Francis. He's a real life Peter Griffin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's a buddy of mine. I know you've seen his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, the chicken fight. I narrated the chicken fight. Look on I got a YouTube channel too. I got like 17, 18 subscribers.
Well, hey,
Feel free to subscribe to my
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, so for everybody listening, the best way for them to find you right now would be on your YouTube channel, or what else?
Social media, Instagram, Facebook.
All right.
Just look for the logo with my face and Thunder Cleese and Frylock in the background on the blue
Excellent.
background.
Excellent.
Means.
Thank you so much for coming and doing this.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'll make
Peace,
sure
love, and extra hot fry grease.
That's right. Well, thank you. Take care.
Peace.
Alrighty, thank you guys for being patient. Whoa, let me go ahead and turn the camera around. Do not attempt to adjust your television set. We are now in control. Give me just a moment here. Thank you for your patience there as I take care of that. Alrighty. That was the end credits theme to Aqua Teen Hunger Force, composed and performed by rapper Schooly D. About 6 years into the series' run, a controversy regarding drummer Terrence Yervais arose regarding his supposed involvement in creating the theme. Yervais' demands included $150,000 for every episode aired since he filed the claim in 2006. The removal of the series from broadcast, and an impound on the DVDs. The results of that lawsuit were not disclosed, but it's safe to say the change in show title and theme song in later seasons is a pretty good indication. At the very least, it seems like a nod by the series creators. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. Special thanks go out to Carey Means once again for joining us here on the show. Thanks so much to all of you also listening in live on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you would like to support Stay Tuned and listen anytime, why don't you join me over on Patreon at patreon.com/Phil Mackey to become a subscriber today. Not only are there cool rewards, but you can also stream this show anytime you like, which means never missing an episode. For more fun, check out my original comics at retailsunshine.com, and you can interact with me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under the handles of both Retail Sunshine and Phil Mackey. Also, you can keep up to date with the latest animation news by visiting this show at facebook.com/Stay Tuned Show. I've been Phil Mackey, you've been a wonderful audience, and until next time, keep those eyeballs peeled, those french fries in their cups, and be sure to stay tuned. Whoa, man. Welcome to the after party, everybody. Woo! All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for being here tonight on this first Sunday of December. Very excited to have you here. It has been a fun year, and we are in the final leg, the last leg of 2018. Got a few shows coming up in the weeks ahead, so hopefully you'll be able to come by and check those out. Next week we'll be talking about, yes, Ryan, it's the after party, yay! Next week we'll be talking about the latest, the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, so I'll be doing my review of that. And the following week I'll have my review, or my interview with, I'm drawing a blank right now. Well, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, the voice actress, the physical model, I should have said, the physical model of Tinkerbell. And normally I would have her name at the tip of my tongue, but I am drawing a blank right now. But, Margaret Carey. So, Margaret Carey will be my guest in 2 weeks. She was the actress that portrayed Tinkerbell. She did the voice acting for one of the mermaids in Peter Pan, and and then we're gonna have a free for all episode to end the year. So I will have a no episode on the 23rd of December because of Christmas. I'm gonna go ahead and let that week go. So if you show up here, there won't be a live show, but of course you're welcome to come and watch all the older episodes. But then the week after that, which will be the last Sunday of 2018, we will do a free-for-all episode where we just hang out for an hour and talk about cartoons and whatever's going on, and it's a fun time, I think. So hopefully you can be there for all of that. And yeah, so I don't know if you guys were fans of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I've got my Season 5 DVD set sitting here with me right now, just I don't know, to give me good luck. Yeah, welcome. How's everyone's week been going? Did I miss anything in the comments? Let me take a look. Maybe I missed some comments while you guys were... Nope, just people saying hi, people saying after party, partay from Elizabeth. Yeah, good stuff. I don't know if you guys watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force when it came out. Ryan, you've been horribly sick. Oh dear, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh my goodness. I can relate though. I haven't been horribly sick this week, but my voice is a little scratchy. I don't know if that's coming across tonight. But I've got a lot of congestion happening. This past weekend, there was a lot of allergies, and I don't know what was going on. But definitely got a workout on my voice, and I'm feeling it right now. But the show must go on. And Ryan, I hope you feel better real soon. I don't know what you were horribly sick with, but Ryan says, thanks. It's my once-a-year sickness, and it hits hard every time. Oh, I relate to that very well. I don't get sick very often, but when I do, it lasts a while for weeks, and I usually wind up in the fetal position in the corner of my apartment and kind of rocking myself and going, "It'll be okay, it'll be okay." Um, so yeah, are you guys fans of Aqua Teen Hunger Force or The Brack Show or Space Ghost Coast to Coast or any of those Adult Swim shows? I'm not sure if you guys watched that. Elizabeth says, "Will be fine." I'm not sure if you mean "we'll be fine" or "it will be fine." Got some partial sentences and I have a hard time translating them. I have a cat over here by the name of Duska, and she is being very lovely right now. Camden and Emily says, "Who is the Drizzle?" Who is the Drizzle? I mean, is that a quote that I don't know the reference to? If it is, I'm sorry for missing it. Diana says, "Brack! Oh man, Brack! I love beans." Man, I kind of wish there wasn't a copyright thing on this whole YouTube thing, because I would start playing all kinds of music from the Brack Show and Space Ghost. Ryan says, "I saw an episode or two a while back, but I don't remember much of it other than the sheer ridiculousness of it." And Diana says, "I occasionally sing the 'Don't Touch Me' song." Oh, yeah, that's a great song. Ryan, yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. You were correct in that sentiment. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I have very fond memories of watching that when it came out, and years later. So, yeah, it's weird though. It kind of devolved into some just absurdist stuff, absurdism. Camden Emily says, "It's from my favorite episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force." Oh, well, I think I've seen every episode, Camden and Emily, but I don't know all of them well enough to be able to quote them. Let me turn my monitor off right now. I can't necessarily. No, I won't do that. That kills the lighting, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know the show. I don't have the show memorized. Okay, there's like a lot of, 15 years worth of episodes. I do remember seeing the movie in the theater, which was great and weird. Amazing that they had a movie that actually went to theaters. And Camden and Emily says, "I used to have a T-shirt that said, 'Who is the Drizzle?' And it sparked a lot of questions." Yes, I would imagine it would. Diana says, "Aqua Teen Hunger Force was interesting and definitely redonkulous." Yes, it was. So it was a offshoot from Space Ghost Coast to Coast. I think they made a brief appearance on that show as like a joke, and then the creators of those characters made them into their own show. Elizabeth says, "I'm just heckling." Oh, okay, good. So hecklers will get ignored, or they'll get called out. So one of the two. Yeah, Space Ghost Coast to Coast was my personal favorite Adult Swim show. I do have a lot of love for Aqua Teen, but Space Ghost is up there for me. And when George Lowe, the voice of Space Ghost, started to show up on Aqua Teen, I was like, yes! And hopefully I can get him to be a guest on the show at some point. Yes, Camden and Emily gives 4 hearts for Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Quality stuff. I don't know if you guys remember this, but for and Diana says it was lovely. She's right. There was a small period of time when Space Ghost Coast to Coast was brand new, and they had 2 shows running concurrently. One of them was called Cartoon Planet. And if you haven't seen Cartoon Planet, it was Space Ghost and Zorak, and sometimes Brack, and they were kind of hosting, it was like a cartoon show, meaning like a clip show, where they would introduce the next cartoon, and they would show old like Hanna-Barbera stuff. Diana says yes. Oh, good. I didn't think anybody else knew about Cartoon Planet. What's funny about that is the show was doing so well at the time, I assume it was, that they made a couple albums, which I have, of course. They came out on Kid Rhino Records. One of them was Space Ghost Musical Barbecue. And Diana says, yes. Oh, good. I'm so glad I wasn't alone. That's good. So, yeah, I'm that much of a fan of Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, and Cartoon Planet. I wish they would do a proper, Blu-ray release of any of that stuff. Well, they did do DVDs for Space Ghost, which I have I believe all of them. But, it'd be nice if they kind of did a better, more complete collection with Blu-ray one of these days. Anyway, I enjoyed that stuff. The ridiculous early Adult Swim shows that kind of spearheaded Adult Swim into what it is today, which is, oddly enough, a lot of live action. Very strange. So, and that's fine. I like the experimental TV stuff. I think that's great. Hey, don't forget, if you're new to Stay Tuned, this is the part of the show where I invite everyone to chat in with your comments and the things that you're watching, or if you've got opinions or questions about my episode from tonight. I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will definitely read them on the air. If you're unable to do that, it's probably because you're not a YouTube subscriber. So go ahead and make a free YouTube account and subscribe to my channel, which is, of course, under my own name. And you should be able to chat with everybody then. Could anybody who is able to chat, can you verify that was how you were able to chat? Like, if you're just a random YouTube user, are you able to type in, or are you not able to type in? Because I've had some questions about that, and I wasn't sure if that was what was preventing people from typing. So if you can confirm or deny that, please chime in. Anyway, so tonight we're talking about Aqua Teen Hunger Force and Space Ghost and Adult Swim. If you missed the episode, or if you missed the conversation I had with Carey Means, the voice of Frylock, please feel free to come back to this channel tomorrow. I will re-upload the episode then. It'll be edited down and nice and neat for you. Ryan says, I will unsubscribe and test. No, you don't got to do that, Ryan. Diana says, it's interesting sometimes to hear from the actors. Listening to Carey Means, he was a very animated individual. Yes, Diana. Sometimes when I interview people like Carey Means, I am reminded of forces of nature. Some people are forces of nature. Like, they kind of happen to your show, which is great. I'm not knocking anybody. I think it's fantastic. He was a great personality to talk to. He's been very kind and welcoming in conversing with me. So I do thank, once again, Carey Means for joining. And again, Carey Means does have his own YouTube channel. Go ahead and check it out. He is pretty active on social media, so I'm sure he would love to hear some kind words from everybody. If you feel the urge to do that. And once again, a reminder to you guys who are just now joining us, next week I will have my review of the latest Wreck-It Ralph. The following week I'll have my interview with Margaret Carey, who she is Tinkerbell. She is the original Tinkerbell. And then the week after that we take a break. And the week after that we will be doing a free-for-all, which is basically this part of the show, but for an hour. You guys make me work real hard for an hour, and I just talk and talk and talk, and it's great. Diana says, they answer questions before you ask them and bring up answers to ones you hadn't thought of yet. Yes, that's very true. Guests like Carey Means answer questions before you ask them and bring up answers to ones you hadn't thought of yet. I agree. Welcome to Stay Tuned, by the way, for you guys who are just now joining us. If you came here to see my interview with Carey Means, it already happened. Come back tomorrow and you can watch it then. But for now, we're just hanging out and talking about cartoons for the next 13 minutes. Ryan says, you have to sign into a YouTube account and a subscriber, it looks like, in order to comment. Okay, so if you don't have a YouTube subscription and if you aren't subscribed, then you're just merely an observer. It's good to know. I wonder how many people just come in and observe. Curious there. I'm gonna guess tonight it's about 3 or so, because we've got 4 of you solidly here. Ryan says, just tested with my alternate Gmail account. Okay, very good. Appreciate that. I guess I'm not the only one who has an alternate YouTube channel. Or account, I should say. I have an account that I don't really do anything with other than it's like just an alter ego. But I haven't signed into that one in a while. So I'm not even sure I even know what the password is anymore. Diana says, huzzah! Ryan the detective. And Ryan says, I have 3 accounts. Well, that's exciting. Speaking of detectives, because Diana just said detective, Has anybody seen the trailer for Detective Pikachu yet? Let's talk about that trailer for just a few minutes. So, Diana, you have 3 accounts also? My gosh, that is very interesting. Detective Pikachu looks to be the. Oh, you don't want to talk about it? Oh, okay. I guess we won't talk about it. But I will give you guys who don't know what it is a brief rundown. It's the first live action CG hybrid Pokemon movie. And I have mixed reactions. A lot of people seem to be very happy about it. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm just a little confused, but the more I think about it, I guess it makes sense to start off the live action franchise if they're going to make it a franchise. I guess it makes sense doing something that's not the core storyline from the games or the anime. I guess it makes sense. I wouldn't have chosen that. Ryan says, I am thoroughly disappointed in making Ryan Reynolds the star. Yeah, I'm weirded out by that. Why would you make Ryan Reynolds the voice? Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I like these glasses as well. These are my computer glasses. I only wear them when I'm at my desk. And even then, not often enough. But they have a special tint on the lenses so that the glare from a screen will have less effect on me. So, because I look at screens a lot, so I have these as my computer glasses. I just don't always remember to put them on. But for the show, I do, because I like how they look on camera. But yeah, the Pokemon thing, Ryan says it's like Detective Deadpool or Deadpool Pikachu or whatnot. Yeah, it's a little weird. As far as the design of the Pokemon is concerned, I kind of was hoping that, like, they wouldn't make them look like cartoon characters with fur. I was hoping they'd make them look more like actual animals, kind of like how they're doing with the Lion King. Feel free to throw your thoughts in below while I read this comment from Camden and Emily, who says, Hey, Phil, which is your favorite Aqua Teen episode? Sorry if you already said this. Had to put the kid to bed during the show. No worries, Emily and Camden. I did not already say this. Favorite episode. That is a tough one. I really love the Moonanites. I think those guys are great characters, and I love Carl. I don't know. I'll have to go back and rewatch the series to pick a favorite episode. I actually enjoyed the movie a lot, which is kind of like a long episode, but it's a toss-up between the movie and something with the Moonanites. I think there was one where there was like an evil mermaid. That was pretty funny too. Oh, hi Emily. It's good to know. So I'll address you as Emily from now on. Ryan says, no, of course they shouldn't look like CGI cartoon animals. Yeah, I agree. It's weird. Like, I don't want Charizard to look like the cartoon Charizard. I want Charizard to look like a dragon, like you'd see out of Harry Potter. They can call him Charizard, and he could have an orange tint, right? I just don't want him to look like a cartoon with, like, some realistic stuff. Camden and Emily says, I didn't see the movie. Gonna have to get a hold of that. Yeah, the movie's hilarious because the title alone is funny. It's Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and they use the word colon, not an actual colon, movie film for theaters. That's a crazy title. And when they released it on DVD, it was the same title and then colon for DVD. They kept adding it on. It's really funny. Diana says, technically, I have access to more business group related, but just 3 personal. I'm guessing you mean the YouTube accounts. And then Diana also says, I didn't know anything about the Pikachu show, but Ryan Reynolds is a force of nature type too, so makes sense. Yeah, if you haven't seen the trailer yet, Diana, check out, just search YouTube for Detective Pikachu. It's an upcoming live action movie in the Pokemon universe, but it's live action with computer generated Pokemon. And they don't look totally cartoon, but they don't look totally realistic. It's weird. Yes, Emily. I'll tell you right now, the first few minutes of the movie are one of the funniest things. You will laugh out loud at the movie, because in the very beginning they do this. You remember the old timey foods at a drive-in theater that would be like, let's go out to the lobby, let's go out to the lobby, let's go out to the lobby and have ourselves a snack, right? Or whatever it is. they take those characters and they bring them into the show, and then they bump into another set of food characters that are like death metal, like a death metal band, but they're also food. So it's like a punk rock thing of nachos and like a burger and a box of candy, and they shove, or they kind of shove their way into the scene, and they start singing like a death metal song about how you're stuck watching the movie now and they have your money and you can't do anything about it, and if you brought a baby into the theater, better leave it outside. It's such a crazy thing, and like the wholesome foods are like confused by the whole thing and start backing up really nervously. It's very funny, and I have to say it's probably the funniest part of the movie, actually. Ryan says, search for Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie etiquette after the show for the clip he is talking about. Yeah. So check out. You can find it on YouTube if you haven't watched the whole movie. It's really awesome. I mean, it's arguably the best part of the movie, and the Aqua Teens aren't even in this part of the movie. It's just it feels very spontaneous, and it was just exciting because you're going to see a movie and you know it's going to be ridiculous, and once that starts up, you're just like, here we go. Here, strap yourself in. Here comes the crazy ride. And the part that, if you were here for the interview, and if you didn't catch the interview, check it when I upload it tomorrow. But there's a part of the interview where I asked Carey Means about a particular part of the film where they kept showing an origin story and then they like changed it. And what I was talking about was towards the end of the movie, they try to give the Aqua Teens an origin. And every time they tell this like 5-minute story of what the origin is, like they go into this whole thing. They tell you all about it, right? And then right after they do it, they say, no, that wasn't what happened. Here's what happened. And they keep doing it, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times, and none of them end up being the one that they tell you is the real one. Like, maybe one of them is real, but by the end of it, you don't know if you just watched a bunch of gibberish that had nothing to do with anything. And so that was the question that I asked Carey Means, was like, why'd they do that? Was it because they just couldn't actually settle on one, or, are all of them the origin, or are none of them the origin? So that's the question I asked Carey Means tonight. Unfortunately, he probably hasn't seen the movie in a while and wasn't sure. Yeah. Oh, a hot dog, says Elizabeth. Yes, a hot dog, I think, was one of those characters. And that song, that death metal song, starts off with the words, don't talk, watch. And then, you came here, watch it. It's very funny. It's a very funny song. It's a very funny intro. When I go and add music onto this show, I'll probably put music from the show, not from the movie, but maybe at one point I'll do a review of the movie. I don't know. I kind of want to watch it again anyway. I've been wanting to watch it again for a while. It's really ridiculous and weird. When I went to go see it, I was like one of the only adults in the theater. I remember that. Everybody was like this college student, and I looked around going, all right. Clearly I have priority issues if I'm coming to see this film. No, I'm kidding. But it was very fun. It was a good experience. Yeah. Anyway, just want to give a little reminder to everybody that if you haven't subscribed to this show yet, you can do so at patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Philmaki. You can put down as little as $5, and that gets you access to the podcasts, because what this show is me recording audio that becomes a podcast. So I try to do a nice show for you guys on video, but of course the audio is the ultimate in the recording portion of it. And of course there's news and other little things that happen when you subscribe. So thank you to everyone for doing that. I appreciate it. We've got 2 minutes left in tonight's hangout after party. And if anybody has anything you want to throw out there in the next 60 seconds, do so now, or forever hold your peace until next week. Thanks again to Carey Means for being here tonight. It was really awesome having you here. And tomorrow, as I said, I will get this episode online so you can go back and watch the interview without me moving the camera around. It'll be a little bit nicer and better audio, of course. And let's see. Next week is Wreck-It Ralph 2. Don't know if you've seen Wreck-It Ralph 2 yet. I have not. I'm hoping to go tomorrow or possibly Tuesday. And then I'll be writing my impressions about it for the next week. So, well, with that, we've got 60 seconds remaining. Thank you to everybody who has been here tonight. I really appreciate your support. It's been a great year, 2018. Got a few more shows left, and then we'll be capping off the year. And I've got some good interviews coming up for 2019. I already got one scheduled. I will not say whom yet, but I will tell you that it will be my first female composer interview that I get to feature on the show. So I'm pretty excited about that. It hasn't happened yet. I'll be recording that later this month. Anyway, 10 o'clock here in Austin. Thank you guys for joining me. Have a wonderful night, and until next week, stay tuned.